Hi everyone, my name is Christelle Chezou and my partners are Anne-Mathie and Charles Marcel. So we're here today to talk about food safety in the kitchen. Okay, so while you are in the kitchen, the first step, is a really important step, is to wash your hand before and after preparing the food. To do that, you have to use soap and warm water to make sure that you kill all the germs. And usually we use the 20-second rule. So if you want, you can be singing the happy birthday song in your head, and trust me guys, it's really like 20 seconds. And when you're done, rinse your hands thoroughly and then use a clean cloth or a paper towel to dry your hand. And then remember, always wash your hand after preparing the food. Okay, so this video presents you the way you're not supposed to be washing your hand in the kitchen. And this one is the proper way of washing your hand in the kitchen.
So after you've washed your hands and you've made sure that they're clean, the next step in the process is to make sure that you don't contaminate your food. So when you're handling raw food and ready to eat food, that is fruits, vegetables, cheese, make sure that you don't touch the raw food and then later just go on and touch the ready to eat food. So instead, if you're using gloves to touch the raw food, remove the gloves and then wash your hands, and then after that touch the ready to eat food. And then when you're using a cutting board, make sure that you don't use the same cutting board for the raw food and the ready to eat food. Instead, buy two separate cutting boards and assign one for raw food and the other one for the ready to eat food. And then also guys, remember not to prepare your raw food in the same area as your vegetables or your ready to eat food. So guys, this is how not to handle raw food and ready to eat food. And this is how to handle raw food and ready to eat food. So for knife safety, so guys, do not handle knife inappropriately, meaning that do not just wield out the knife as if you're Zorro, like swishing it around. Make sure that when you're handling it, place the knife by your side and be aware of the people who are around you. Also, when it comes to cutting things using the knife, make sure that your fingers are not just laid flat, because you're gonna chop your fingers and you need your fingers, unless you can walk around with 3 fingers and you don't feel like there's something wrong. But then again, don't do it. So this is a demo of how not to carry the knife around the kitchen. And this is the right way of carrying the knife around the kitchen. This is a demonstration of how not to use the knife to cut vegetables. This demo shows you how to cut vegetables the right way. Make sure that your fingers are placed in the right position so as to prevent cuts. So handling hot food items. So when you're using the oven to cook food, make sure that you don't touch the food in the oven with bare hands. Instead, use oven mittens to hold the tray and transfer the food to a flat kitchen surface. Also, when you're handling metal pots and pans, make sure that you use mittens or kitchen towels so that you don't burn your fingers. And whenever you're cooking using pots that have long handles, make sure that the edges of the handle is not hanging across from the stoves, because you may knock it over and spill your food. So guys, please don't do this when handling food that is in the oven. And this is the right way of handling food coming out of the oven. And finally, when cooking chicken or fish, please make sure that the meat is completely cooked so that you can get rid of any bacteria that is present in the raw meat. So how do you determine if your chicken and fish is fully cooked? So in order for you to do that, you need to ensure or make sure that the final temperature of the chicken is at least 185 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you're cooking fish, make sure that your final temperature is at 145 degrees Fahrenheit. And when you're baking your chicken, please make sure that the juices that are coming out of the meat is running clear. And if it is fish, make sure that you can observe a change in the color and texture of the fish. This is a demo showing how you can check if the minimum temperature of chicken has been attained. So if you see the green light flashing on the temperature probe, in this case, it shows that the minimum temperature for the chicken has been attained.
Okay, thank you guys for watching our video, and I hope you really learned something from us. Thank you.